Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the September 29th, 2009 Board of Selectmen meeting. I am in need of a clerk pro tem. May I have a motion, please?
I'll nominate Jane as the clerk for the evening.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor? Oppose, abstain. Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Mr. Chairman, 4 selectmen are present, Mr. Cronin is absent, and the town administrator is present as well.
Okay, thanks. First order of business will be citizens' participation. Who's here to speak to the board tonight? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead, sir. Come on up to the table, introduce yourself for the record, and just speak clearly into the microphone, please.
Hi, my name is Michael Bessie. I'm here tonight to see if the Board of Selectmen would entertain an idea to further study a zoning article that is going to be coming up. It's the CR district that's pertaining to the Bay Point Country Club. The Onset Fire District sold 35 acres approximately to the original developers of the golf course to be used as a golf course. When they did that, they put in some stipulations in the deed that one was to recommend that if the golf course ceased to be a golf course, the land would revert back to the Onset Fire District. At a meeting Sunday with the proponents of the development at the golf course, it was established that they intend to build condominiums and cottages on lot 1013A, which was the Onset Fire District's lot. They have no plan, preliminary or definitive plan at the moment, to show exactly where they intend to put roads, houses, water, things of that nature. And the purpose of the district's land was to protect their water tower, to build a water tower and protect it. And I think until the developers can come in and clearly show where they intend to lay their roads, where they intend to lay their utilities, and how many units they intend to build, it would be a bad time to go ahead and give them a zoning article without first knowing what they intend to do. They have not indicated how many units, and they have not been to the water department. So the water department doesn't even know at this point whether they can supply them with water. The water district has at least 2 water lines coming from that tower. Drive to back up that. They are proposing a 2-acre pond near the discharge line. If I understood them correctly, they are proposing to bulldoze a good portion of the hill to the left side of the water tower. It's possible that with the development that they plan in there, that they could create structural deficiencies to that water tower. So I think it's important that they first come in with a plan, and that they first notify the fire department, the water department, the sewer commissioners, what they intend to do to see whether the area can support what they want.
Okay. Before I turn it to the board, I wasn't aware that there was a Sunday meeting. Was anybody on the board aware of that?
I had heard.
Pardon?
I was there.
They had
You were there?
meeting with the
How'd you become
local
aware of the
people.
meeting?
It's in the paper.
It was a random pick. They just picked people in the neighborhood.
Okay, well, help us out. What was the...
When I attended as a private individual for my own information.
I think it was basically the same presentation that they made to us
It
at
was
the
the
planning
same thing
board.
they did with the zoning board.
I got some feedback from some of the neighbors, Bruce, that's how I know about it.
Thank you.
I wasn't able to
Was the
attend myself.
presentation what we saw?
Yes.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
All right. As far as, we could certainly as a board, and as he just said, we're all individual members, but we could, as a board, vote for the study as a matter of our votes, which would be public and printed in the warrant article, excuse me, on the basis of what you just said. But we don't have any legal authority to stop that warrant article from being moved forward to town meeting. We have a right to an opinion, but we cannot pull that warrant article out of the warrant, and therefore by law, by operational law, it'll go to town meeting floor and be debated. However, you're perfectly able to stand at town meeting and inform the body that there are critical issues. The language of the warrant article is basically, you're right, a zoning change, and because of that, they're not required to be specific as far as the design and the development, but I understand and personally agree with you that until we know exactly what this development would look like, not only with respect to the structural issues that you're talking about, but the economic impact and the risks that the community might face by endorsing such a project. Personally, I would favor that, but it's not up to me and it's not up to the board. It will go to town meeting floor, and I think you make a good, strong argument as to why further study might be a legitimate route for the body, but that's going to happen on the floor, and that's really the best that can be done.
Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Sure.
Mr. Bessie, I'd like to thank you for coming before the board this evening and expressing your concerns with the project. I think that the board will vote as a group on yay or nay, up or down on all of the articles, and when we do that, we will certainly take your comments into consideration. Thank you again.
Well, thank you. Do you have any comments?
No, thank you for coming in, and I spoke to Mr. Bessie about it earlier, and I voiced to him a couple of the concerns that I had with the article itself, and I was unaware of the whole issue with the land with our district, so it is something to look at in further.
Okay, Ms. Cruz.
Yeah, you do have legitimate concerns, and if it does pass, the zoning, it still has to be approved by the zoning and planning. So, that's another avenue to go to. If it does pass, you go to them, and they can deny them putting houses in that 35 acres.
I served as a...
Unless you're just against the whole 100 and whatever acres they have there.
No, in fact, I think it's important that the golf course survive. I served as chairman of the planning board for a number of years, so I understand the process. I just believe that it's easier to possibly get the planning board or other government bodies to recommend further study and stop the article from being passed than to let it pass and then fight with whatever agency there is over a house or a condo unit.
Well, again, personally, I agree with you, but I'm one member, and the board will vote the way the board chooses to vote. You're absolutely right about the reversionary clause. If that is in the deed, that's it. There's no argument. It doesn't matter what the body votes. If the land is deeded and restricted with a reversionary clause for those 35 acres, it's a matter of a court injunction. Number one. Secondly, it's not just the ZBA and the planning board that'll have a word on this. The Board of Selectmen will too, because of other language that controls